Welcome back to Dum-Dums and Dragons, where improvisers who've never roleplayed before journey into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I am the Great Wizard Bukake, your host. Our heroes have escaped Archibald and returned to the mines. Quinny led the guards on a merry chase and found a mysterious thrift shop. Reginald had a breakdown when he discovered his dad might be able to control Butthole, and Juniper is thrilled to be working once again with explosives. Can these unlikely heroes destroy the portal to the Hell Realm? Find out next on Dum-Dums and Dragons.
Dum-Dums, you've decided to try and blow up the Portal Bridge, a massive construction project that is occurring in the northeast end of Aka. As you know, a number of members of the Horde, including Archibald Tingler, have made their way across some sort of portal, and it would seem that Aka is dead set on building more. You don't have a lot of details about what their plans are currently. You are aware that there's a faction within Aka known as the Dark Spikes who are emulating the Horde as best they can, and you've heard it mentioned that they are preparing for an invasion. There are other members of Aka, the True Believers, who follow the word of Gary the Traitor, the Freebird, who are less excited about this and kind of want to go back to the old ways. As the Resurrectors, your plan was to encourage nostalgia and try and kind of fan the flames of rebellion quietly before making a grand entrance. However, due to the surprise appearance of Archibald and a cadre of Horde fighters, the city is now on high alert. Archibald doesn't know who Butthole is, so that's...
They've all got the red symbols above them now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. There's exclamation marks above heads. Yeah. There's a cool timer in the top corner. But essentially, Quinny and Archibald have met. Butthole and Archibald have met. Archibald doesn't know who either of you are, so that's actually kind of okay. Quinny was chased by guards into the derelict hospital where he found some mysterious thrift store. It's got shop and store combined in weird. Thrift shore. It's in Jersey. You found a thrift shop setup that someone had left that seemed to indicate it was somehow tied to the Freebirds. You've also befriended Pitch the Hobgoblin and Patty Two Eyes, who have kind of joined your motley band as you start to foment a plan. So, having collected a lot of blasting powder, you decided previously that Juniper, with her experience from the Old West in explosives, back in Tomb Slab, would be the best to identify the weak points while disguised as an Aka guard. Quinny is going to turn invisible and attempt to plant explosives at those key points. And Butthole and Reginald are kind of there on security duty. Is that correct?
Yeah, they'll be at a distance. They're obviously not going to try to sneak in because they don't do that. But just like if shit goes bad, they're the cavalry that can arrive to do that. I think the one thing that we know would be needed is to figure out who the fuck is guarding this portal so that we can get Juniper in the right uniform. To make that work. And Butthole, I will also say, just for continuity purposes, has cast a healing spell on himself because he's still injured from getting smacked around by Archibald. So I'll just take that slot off in advance.
Please do, because you're not taking a rest. Cool. Is there anything you wanted to do in preparation, or do you want to go and try and figure out what the situation with the portal is?
Butthole is... basically, depending on how long this alarm would go off, he would want to wait a few hours. So it's not like Quinny got back, the sirens are still going off. But it's like, if that's clearly going to be a state we're staying in for a couple of days, then they move. But otherwise, let's give it 2-3 hours, see if the city calms down a little bit, then move.
All right, so short rest then. The city will likely be on alert moving forward, but...
short rest, you say?
The immediate... Yeah, I mean, I don't have any...
Warlock spell slots are back, baby.
I don't have any pocket change, but if I did, I would have thrown it across the like, take your precious fucking slots. Yep. Also, feel free to spend hit dice. We haven't done that in 1,000 sessions, but it is something you're welcome to do.
You'd have to take damage first to spend hit dice.
Oh my god. Wow. Strong words from a twice dead character.
All right, well, I would like to say perhaps he does not use a spell then. Perhaps he uses hit dice.
That is a Marvel Comics speed of retcon. We killed Wolverine. Don't worry, he's right there.
He's fine.
He's the best at what he does, bub. Snick.
Coming back to life is what it does.
Yeah.
It's what everybody does. Looking at you, Red Hood.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so
Alrighty,
Tyler, give me that pocket change I threw at you back. I want to throw it at Ryan now. Take your precious spell slot back.
I don't think I get a spell slot for. Oh, I get it for not casting a spell.
Yeah,
that's true.
that's
I don't
what-
get it for the short rest.
that's
That doesn't
no,
help me.
no, you don't.
referring to.
The gods don't help me during short rests.
Yeah, well, that's what you get for not worshiping Baba Yaga and worshiping your fart god instead.
Butthole helps those who helps himself.
Helps himself. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no English teachers who follow Butthole. Okay, so is there anything you'd want to discuss with your compatriots over the course of the short rest? Everyone's kind of bashed up and there's a lot to do. So if you think you just spend that time preparing, that's fine. But I also don't want to rob you of a chance to touch base since you actually are taking a moment to breathe.
I think Butthole would at some point go over to Juniper and be like, do you know what? Quinny seems to be doing pretty well. I don't think he did anything super evil. He did kind of a heroic thing to help everybody. So maybe you're right. If he's left up to his own devices, he might do the right thing, which I will admit. Also, you may have noticed, because you're my friend, that I was a little bothered when it turned out that Quinny and Reginald were in love. But you know what? I got to try to be happy for him. Also, I didn't know if he'd be into guys who kind of look like me, and Reginald kind of looks like me. So, like, if it doesn't work out, maybe I have a chance.
Maybe.
It feels like you're humoring me. I don't know what I'm supposed to get, but that was not a supportive statement.
No, the only thing, I'm sorry, it's just that, like, I don't know, like, Quinny seemed like weirdly resistant to Reginald when he was trying to show affection when they came out. It was weird.
Oh, yeah, but Quinny's resistant when most people try to show affection.
Okay. I don't know. It's just strange. I just didn't think they had that kind of relationship.
Yeah, me neither. This has been a real, curveball, one might say.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just surprising.
I mean, we've got to support them, okay? We can't question them. We need to just support our friends and their love, because we can't impinge on their happiness, right?
Right.
At this point, Juniper, I don't know if you figured this out, but it feels like you're smart enough that you probably did. Butthole may not actually remember any of the other Moon Manments, so he's just got one that he's kind of hanging his hat on. You might need to teach him the other rules to give him a little bit more of a broader way to approach the world.
How he lives his life.
I mean, he already farts all the time.
Because, I mean, the Butthole's challenge is he wrote the Moon Manments for other people, never expecting them to be like, it was like a manual for other people who didn't know how to just instinctually live their life the right way.
Yeah.
Now he's learning he may occasionally conflict with his own rules. That's a problem for him. He also,
fantastic.
may not be able to match it 100% because a king has to have different rules than, like, a random person who finds a pamphlet in a hotel room. But, he's trying to balance it.
I mean, I thought that's how most monarchies make their decisions, to be honest.
Look, if Butthole's possibly not following of his own Moon Mammoths interferes with anything, Juniper will bring it up.
I mean,
So you're in the dark until then.
that's fine. Listen, I was just saying what I think Juniper would have put together based on the fact that he has quoted this Moon Man in every conversation with her since she said it out loud.
Yeah, I don't know, though. She might just be like, he's a little bit salty for her throwing that
Okay,
in his
whatever.
face. I don't know.
Well, I feel like you should know what Juniper's thinking.
Okay, well, it
knows?
sounds
Nobody knows.
to me that Laura, where you're sitting with it is because Butthole does kind of go all in on things. It is, I agree, Ryan, that it's fully reasonable that Juniper could have put this together. However, based on previous experience with Butthole, you going all in on stuff is kind of your thing. So I know,
Yeah.
like, personally, sitting here as me, Tom, the DM, listening to Butthole, I'm like, no, he's just really hung up on this one thing. So I think I like the sort of take you've got on it, Laura, which is if knowing that is true, if it were to come up in any way that like Juniper would actively notice, we can certainly roll for that.
Yeah.
Then it would be an oh no moment. But for now, it's just like he's really hung up on this. And also, I mean, Juniper's aware of the emotional angle to this whole Reginald Quinny thing. And like, no one thinks straight when their heart's getting broken. Yeah. Juniper knows all about that. Read the books. Also, note to self, write some books.
I mean, Grandpa Warwick knows all about it. So.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about his tragic romance. Right.
Okay, so we got to figure out whether you got to be a dark spike or whether you got to be a regular soldier or whether you got to be a horde.
Right. Yeah, we'll have to do some recon first, right?
Yep. And by we, I hope you mean the invisible halfling, because that makes a lot more sense than perhaps me doing it.
Well, maybe you
Yes.
should send old Patty Two Eyes. That's right, I've been here the whole time.
I mean, maybe we should send Patty Two Eyes. Quinny, do you want Patty Two Eyes to help you do some scouting?
No.
But I got two
Before you
eyes
even
for
finish
seeing.
asking, just no.
Patty, I think we need you to stay in charge down here in the mine.
But it seems his height's not the only thing that's short. His temper's pretty short, too.
I mean, honestly, everything you're saying is really adding up for me, but if you don't say that, he'll be nicer to you.
Well, he already said he doesn't respect me, so I don't see why he needs to be nice to me. I'm going to go hang out with my new friend Pitch. He's telling me all about this hammer moon fella.
Oh, yeah, go talk to Pitch. Reginald, I think, is just stewing, just sitting in a corner, a combination of panic and fury, realizing that there's no way out, and he hates having no way out when it requires him to do things that are dangerous.
I mean, I think that's true of everybody.
Yeah, but he considers most things more dangerous.
yeah, fair enough.
So imagine he's normally at a 10. I don't know what number he's at right now.
If only Bucky was here, we could really hash that shit out with him. All right, and Quinny, anything you'd be doing?
Yeah, Quinny would want to chat with Juniper as well. But
Join the line.
Yeah. But about these explosives and make sure that
Oh, yes.
they're foolproof, since I'm not the professional explosives handler, but I am the stealthy one, so I'll be dropping them off where I need to. So I want to make sure I know how to handle these things.
Oh, yeah. Also, worth flagging for both of you. They said something about quantum cores being near the portal. I mean, they sound kind of explodey if they haven't been emptied. So just keep that in mind. I'll leave you two to talk about your
Yeah, I
bomb.
think it's safe to say they're using them to power the portal, I think. So they
say
must
so.
they must have something in them. I mean, they wouldn't be just like putting some quantum waste around just for nothing, right? Right?
Can you guys roll me a history check, please? Anyone who's in this conversation. I'll roll for Patty because she's in earshot. She gets a 17, but she has no context for this and thus contributes nothing.
12.
12?
I also get a 12.
I rolled a 2, but I'm -1. So that's a 1.
A dirty one.
A dirty 1. Very rarely rolled. Very rarely.
God, you guys rolled badly on that.
they did.
I don't know. Could they?
I don't know. Juniper never went to 2099 World.
I'm pretty sure that you're wrong. And not only are you wrong, no one has ever been more wrong in the world.
Well, that's a little harsh.
That seems like, a pretty major blanket statement.
Yeah, well, fine. I'm having a time, but I'm very hopeful. And he leaves.
I can feel the hope.
Yeah. And do you know what? I think we should just assume that those quantum whatevers are they're being used. They've got something in them, and if they can help the explosion, well, good for us. I think. Look, I know the blast radius of these explosives here. We're just going to have to get a little bit farther, just in case.
Okay. So when I place these wherever you direct me to, how do we detonate them?
So you found blasting powder. So unfortunately, there's no mechanism. It is literally like a bag of gunpowder, basically. Now, Juniper, and this may be stretching our collective knowledge of the Wild West, because other than dynamite, like, would you have stuffed them in bottles? Would you have rigged them up in something, or would it literally just be like a powder satchel? Because I know in a lot of ancient cultures, that was explosives, was literally like a bag with exploding shit in it. So I'm not sure how you would. It's not really a Molotov cocktail situation necessarily.
No, I mean, I think probably in the Wild West, they probably would have used bottles, just because it's a little bit more safe to handle, less chance of spilling. If they have bottles, she'd like to.
Yeah, I think it would be safe to say. No. I think the Ageless Catacomb definitely has bottles. They're all cheaply made because there was no union.
Yeah.
I was going to say, this is a work era before union, so everybody's pissing in bottles. It's all just piss bottles. We're talking Amazon warehouse levels of piss bottles.
Okay, well, Patty's on bottle emptying duty then.
Well, that's opposite to my nature, but I'll try it. She says, turning the bottle under her upside down. So It's safe to say there's definitely bottles around. Like, basically, the mine has been cleared out of, like, the important stuff that ancient Akka brought down.
They didn't take the piss bottles with
They
them?
didn't take the piss balls. Look, they've got piss balls up top. Like, they're
Wasteful.
heavy.
Do they have like fuse line, like a spool of stuff?
I'll say there is one, but it's a little short, just because everything down, they would have taken
Little
useful
short.
stuff. So there is some. Worth noting that in Wild West times, I wouldn't be surprised if you shot the powder to blow it.
That makes sense.
That said,
Very Wild
the
Westy.
only pistol that the group has, you've got Amanda, because Doc Huckleberry found her again, and then Juniper, you've got
And
the
I
one on
have
your
one.
chair. So those are currently the only two mechanisms for that.
Right.
I'll also say that the danger with blasting powder in fuses is any amount of spark near the powder sets it off, which is kind of fine if you don't care, if it's a long enough fuse, but it's not like
It's not. Yeah.
it's not as accurate.
I'm thinking we set stuff up. We set up a stockpile of the stuff that we can see from a distance that I could shoot, and then set the other bottles close enough that it'll cause a chain reaction of explosions.
And you know how to do that? You know enough about this stuff that chain reaction is in your
Oh, yeah.
wheelhouse? Yeah?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Then just show me what to do and we'll do it.
All right.
Okay, great. Any other business you would want to attend to before we move on? Other than spending all your hit dice, as you
I was gonna,
established.
yeah. No, if we had more time, Juniper would be like checking in with all these people and like, how's everyone doing?
You've got a couple hours.
But okay, if I've got enough time to like, set up all the fill the explosives bottles.
You do have a bunch of minions basically who can do work for you. So and also keep in mind, like, obviously Patty Two Eyes is a bit of a card, but these are all like Akka soldiers, so they're silly but also scary. And they're sick, but they're still fully capable of assisting with this sort of stuff. And honestly, something like putting blasting powder in bottles would be in their wheelhouse because they're all about war all the time. So if you're like, cook us a meal, you're gonna get something really utilitarian and terrible. If you're like, make me some improvised explosives, they're gonna be like, oh yeah.
Cool. Okay. I mean, Juniper will just be going around being like, hi there, I'm Sheriff Juniper. Who are you?
My name is Balthazar Durian, and I am a war wizard of Akka.
Wow, a war wizard. That sounds like a pretty important role.
Yes, I was part of a war wizard division. My job was to send the magic missiles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're
Hey.
very impressive. I'm very powerful.
What's the range on your magic missiles there?
They go far. I've never measured it because usually we're in combat.
Interesting.
Ryan picks up the
It's
player's
like
handbook.
it's 120 feet.
Yeah.
Ryan puts the book back down.
And Juniper kind of does the math. It's like, okay, a bullet can go farther. It's probably not a good idea to send this person to throw a magic missile at the explosives.
What's everybody else's job? I dig shitholes. I'm a latrine expert. We all are. No one has magic anymore.
So is it just magic missiles that you throw?
Oh, that's my specialty. There are enough war wizards in Akka that we don't actually require many people to learn more spells. You kind of learn one thing and get real good at it. Once you're good, you just kind of do that. Would you rather have someone who is an expert at throwing magic missiles, or someone who is pretty good at magic missiles and pretty good at icy grasp throwing magic missiles? Because I tell you what, you're going to want the one who's an expert at throwing magic missiles.
Oh, I'm sure. Can we count on you to throw some magic missiles at potentially your former soldier compatriots?
Why would I make war on Akka? We make war on others. That's our whole thing. I want to return to the old ways, but that doesn't mean murdering my friends.
Okay. Well, then how about murdering the invaders that are coming in? 'Cause they're changing everything.
Wait, what? Who's invaders coming in? What do you mean?
With the portal?
Yeah. No, we're going through the portal.
Oh, you're going through the portal.
Yeah, that's what they want. I mean, Dark Lord Typhus doesn't have much use for us anymore now that he's got his shambling hordes, and he's been making all those deals with that scary guy to have us join up with the horde on the other side.
Oh, interesting.
They're stuck in some kind of big war, which sounds fun, but it sounds like we're just really meant to take the first hit so the cool people behind us can hit harder. But it would seem that things aren't going great over there for the horde folks, so they just need a little bit of a boost. There's no more warring to be done here for us, so we're just going to be sent over as fodder for someone else's war.
That sounds awful.
It is.
All right.
That's why we're all bummed about it.
Well, we got to make sure that doesn't happen.
That will be nice. I would like to throw magic missiles at people from my own universe. Thank you very much.
Perfect.
I will grind the folk of water deep beneath my heel, I will.
I'm sure we will.
Neverwinter will burn.
Okay. Well, it was lovely meeting you, Balthazar.
It was nice to meet you, too. Let me know if you ever need magic missiles cast anywhere within the range of 120 feet specifically, since you asked.
Oh, I will. I definitely will.
Okay. All hail the god of war.
Okay, all hail.
Okay, bye. Just walking away, he's like, that's a weird lady.
Just like, okay, all right. And Juniper just like Quinny, Reginald, Butthole, like to come over.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you gesture? I just want to be clear for the audio medium because your flailing
I'm
was great for
flapping
video.
my hands. It's being like, come here.
Hey, what's going on? What were we talking with that guy about?
So apparently people are being sent through the portal.
Yeah, we know.
Oh, wait, I thought people were coming in the portal.
Oh, I mean, they're probably doing both.
Oh.
It's a portal.
They're going through to the other side to help the horde.
People
Wait,
being
what?
sent through like they're leaving here to
Yeah.
go to... Oh.
Wait, what people? When you say people, can you be more specific?
I mean, magic users and
Wait.
then other people.
What? Is it horde people coming here and going back and forth? Like, what faction are these
No.
people? Otherwise, I'm just picturing sort of,
No,
I don't know, a silhouette going
What
back
it
and
sounds
forth.
like is that soldiers are going to be sent through the portal to help, I guess, that the horde win the never-ending war.
Well, it's a never-ending war.
I mean, I hate to say it, but I think they're just getting sent through to get murdered because I know how locked that shit is, and there are not enough people here. Also, everybody here's soft. Do you see how old that guy is? And he just points at Balthazar like, that guy is not making it a day.
No, and he's aware of that.
Oh.
He's like, we're just being sent through as fodder for another force.
Fodder. Okay, well, that's pretty definitive then.
Well,
So what? They're like in a part of a transaction? Like why?
I don't know. I don't think they know really more than that.
here's the deal. There's no way Typhus is trading this and not getting something out of it. So number one is still blow the fucking portal up
Yep.
because if he's got a deal, they'll send more horde to stop us. Otherwise, he's killing the citizens of Akar who we rule over. We may not be in charge here yet, but these are all my people, even that weird old guy. So we got to protect him.
He's throwing magic missile at the darkness, just over there, lighting up the alcoves, being like, fear me.
Honestly, Pitch is so lucky I already made him the Castilian because this guy has some real potential over there. Maybe he could do the night shift. We'll find out.
Okay, so does that change anything? I don't think.
I think
it
either
does.
way, we got to blow up the portals.
I think it just suggests that the problem is more specific than we thought, but the problem remains. We need to blow up this goddamn portal.
Okay.
All right, so the plan is that we're going to use the explosives. I'll disguise, but yeah. The plan didn't change just
Yeah.
because the other thing changed. So we're just going to do the same thing. Juniper, it seems like do you feel like you won him over?
I think he just, won him over to what? Like,
I mean, did you get him on side with our version of like the future and nostalgia and like making that work? Or did he just kind of talk about probably being terrible and then maybe you agree
he
with
just wants to go back to the old ways. And I guess, war on Neverwinter and Waterdeep and...
And you didn't, I'm going to guess you didn't manage to subvert that second energy. You just sort of let it happen.
Honestly, yeah.
Here, take that, Baldur's Gate.
Okay, Juniper.
Like, I mean, you can try to change that, but
No. I mean, we will. I'm going to suggest maybe let Quinny, with the elaborate lie that we practiced, try to win people to our cause, or perhaps me with hugs. But like, I don't know if you're exactly meant for like rah in the troops.
Yeah, you may be right.
But if we need you to interrogate people for information, frankly, you've already learned more about the town by talking to an old man than any of us did doing anything at any time.
That's pretty good.
So, like, good fucking work. Do you want to go talk to, like, 2 more people and see if you actually figure out what the fuck's going on?
I don't know. I don't seem to ask the right questions.
That's what you'd say, but remember when we asked a lot of pointed questions of Patty Two Eyes, and then I made her friend, and now she's in charge of the mines, but we also didn't learn anything?
Also, I hate her.
All right. Okay.
All right, why don't you talk to that one?
2 thumbs up. You got this.
He points to a random person. Tom, can you just describe like 2 people that he points to? Reginald would point to theoretically who he thinks is the smartest, most informed person.
By looks?
Which means he 100% points to a narcissist like himself. And then he would point to who he thinks is like the strongest.
Okay, so you first point to a woman who is clearly an archer. She is clad in honestly like gear that Quinny you would want if you were doing like ranged stealthy stuff. So clearly some kind of like ranger type garb, lightweight, not heavily armored, and Reginald, I think part of the reason you pick her as a narcissist is she's clearly chosen style over armor.
Oh, yeah, that speaks to Reginald. So he thinks this woman is important. Yeah. Like, he's not self-aware enough to be like, another person with a personality disorder.
Yeah, like, this is very much you can think like the Jim Lee Psylocke outfit that's just like, here's ribbons or anything that Kate Beckinsale wears in Underworld, where it's just like it's a cool leather outfit, but like you could just get shot or stabbed. Like there's nothing there to help you.
Nothing's getting protected.
And she's got a very long, like a sort of a beautifully curved longbow, no arrows, and she's just trying to pull. She's just clearly doing exercises with the string. And Reginald, part of what draws your eye is she's clearly doing them in like almost a weightlifter showing off way, where she's clearly like actually doing the work, but is also taking time to pose. Like she's not doing it in a utilitarian way. It's a little extra. That said, you can see that she's missing some fingers on one of her hands recently. And she's got heavy wounds up and down the arm she's drawing the bowstring with, and she's having trouble. Her musculature has clearly been damaged, and that's part of the reason she's lurking here.
Well, that's the problem. She's using your arms. You don't use your arms to pull a string back. You
can go talk to her if you want. She's a narcissist.
Use your feet.
She wants to look cool. So you've got
you scapular retract.
Oh my God, we can call that unit the Farchers. They're foot archers.
No. Jesus Christ. And then the you said you wanted to see the strongest?
I think, yeah, if he was going to point to 2 people for Juniper to talk to, yeah, it's whoever looks the most powerful.
So there is a guy whose eyes are red, nose is just constantly running, who is horking up a lung. But you can see him just like practicing like strikes, unarmed strikes against a rock. And what's notable about him is he's a guy who has no upper body and is just all legs. So he's like a reverse He-Man action figure. It's just all muscle from like the hips down. Wow. And his upper body is very slight. And you can see that he is doing pointed toe kicks against stone, which is not how you kick properly. But he is putting cracks in it. And each time he's like, and it's like every time he throws a kick, he's just like desperately trying to breathe through it.
God.
But still kind of like trying to hold a cool, like, you know, like a fighter, almost in a like a Brazilian martial art where he's kind of got a bit of a flow to it before he throws the kicks. But it's hard because he has to keep stopping to like hork up phlegm, which makes this whole routine less exciting. So those are the 2 people that you see.
Let's talk to the archer first.
All right. So
Howdy.
And she just like looks at you with just genuine confusion. Says, "Howdy? What manner of speech is this?"
Oh, that's how we say hi in a friendly way where I'm from.
Saying hi in a friendly way. Well, around these parts we say that with an arrow to the throat. But
Well,
given
then,
that I have
hello.
none, howdy. Oh, hello. Okay, well, we're doing this. This is very quaint. Tell me, is your lord available to speak to? I don't particularly like speaking to the rank-and-file peasantry.
Rank and file peasantry? I'm the chief justice of your future kingdom.
Oh boy, a lawyer. Oh, well, I'm quaking in my boots. A chief justice. Well, tell me, should I fear your powdered wig more? What? Why do you speak to me this way? Don't you know who I am?
No, actually, I don't. Maybe I'd speak to you differently if I knew who you are. So who are you?
I am Lady Seraphina Bellwinter
Seraph?
of the East End Bellwinters. That's right. No autographs at this time, thank you.
Well, okay, if you're so important, what are you doing here?
Well, it's simple chief justice. Some of us have real jobs, and sometimes we get injured in those real jobs, and unfortunately, because our gracious new lord saw fit to run all the civilized medicine out of town, been stuck with this mess. And she holds up her arm, and you can tell it's probably infected. Like, it's not a great thing. And she says, honestly, that man's fear of the healing arts is truly frustrating, but
Wait, why is he afraid of the healing arts?
Chief Justice, one day you truly must leave your law libraries and see the world.
Well, this is me seeing the world, so why don't you educate me?
I am no tutor. That is far beneath me. I had a cousin who was a tutor, and my family had him executed. Is there a kindergarten in this mine for the young miners? Perhaps you can send this lady there. She says broadly to no one.
Oh my goodness. Butthole.
Also, Juniper, you can roll a check if you want to try and overwhelm this lady. Like, if you want to roll intimidation or something, you're more than welcome to do it. I'm just not going to give it to you based on rhetoric.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Or you can call Butthole in. That's also fine. It's the new killer option, but you've got it.
Like, I don't think Juniper has anything that'll work on this person. It's
Fair
like,
enough.
she's just not used to this. Butthole.
Butthole? Oh, foul language, no less, honestly.
Hey, what's going on?
I can't, this isn't working.
What's not working?
I can't talk to this person.
Well, that seems very judgmental of you.
No, I'm trying, but she won't talk to me.
Oh.
She looks
Do you
at
have a problem with my friend?
you seem to have regal bearing. Perhaps you can understand. This person has approached me and is asking me to just educate her on the ways of the world.
Oh, yeah. It's because we don't know what's going on. So if you tell her what's going on, she can, do stuff for you more effectively.
Do stuff for me more effectively. Whatever do you think a Chief Justice could do for me? I am above the courts. I'm of the East End Bellwinters.
Oh, wait. I know how we... Just a second. Reginald! All right, you two can leave. Apparently, this is a job for me. How can I help you, incredibly talented warrior?
All color drains from her as she immediately gets a little bit schoolgirly about it. And she just says, you have regal bearing. You remind me of our lost Lord Reginald.
Yes, I am Reginald Reborn, brought back from the dead by that guy. And he just points to Butthole.
And she just fucking drops to one knee and she says, my lord, surely you remember the service of the Bellwinters of the East End? You remember the Bellwinters from your time. Your family had them fucking killed for social climbing. They were exhausting and just always lurking around. They would buy commissions and then just insist on wedging themselves in. You actually think you remember this lady in your world getting killed on the front line almost immediately.
Oh, yeah. Who do you think put her there? Reginald's fully equipped to deal with this person.
The Bellwinters are it's the equivalent of new money. They're just very much social climbing, a folk.
That's perfect, because there's nothing like a stupid person who's willing to follow orders to climb the ladder, because you can put them on the wrong ladder into a burning house. And he's like, well, it's so great to see you. Of course I remember the bellwether. So come and stand up, friend. Stand up, please. You don't need to bow right now.
Thank you. And she hands her bow off to Juniper, just in like handing your coat to the coat check person, and says, how can I assist, my lord?
Well, we're going to destroy the portal so that no more lives of a car can be wasted for that stupid horde, and we've got to teach those dark spikes a lesson.
My lord, there is great glory on the other side of the portal, I am told. I'm told it is a nation of tremendously fierce warriors, one where the most talented and powerful can climb quickly.
Well, and who told you that?
Our Lord Typhus?
Well, there's only one person who can truly explain the perfidy of the Lord Typhus. Quinny!
What? I see everyone coming over here. What's going on?
This most excellent member of this realm needs to understand the betrayals of Typhus.
Oh, you don't know?
He has promised us great glory on the other side.
I'll bet he has. Yeah, he promised us great glory, too. Yeah. Tricked us into...
Well, you have Reginald. You've brought him back. That is the greatest glory of all.
We brought him back because Typhus tricked us into killing him in the first place. It's only thanks to Butthole that he's been resurrected because we learned the truth.
Can you roll a deception check?
Sure. That's a natural 20. Yay! Would you like to know the modifier?
Yes, we all would. Sure, great. Make my day.
That would make it a 33.
Christ. All right. Her eyes go wide, and she just says, I knew it sounded too good to be true. If there's already a full army over there and a full nation, surely they have their own East Enders. I can't possibly hope to outrank them.
Yeah, I mean, take whatever you need from this to
certainly,
get on side.
Certainly. Well, be that as it may, even I suppose being further down the ladder over there will be better than being here when he enacts his plans for this world, though, surely.
Could you expand on what his plans are for this world?
Well, he simply mentioned that once we find our place in the new world, that he and his new allies will have no need for this one, that this is a wasted realm, and as such will be burned for fuel, I believe was his exact wording.
A world burned for fuel?
He says he requires quite some power to make the Horde realm secure against some impending calamity that sounds rather rough. And she kind of looks at Juniper and says, in fact, you seem to evoke what he was warning us about with your odd technologies and things. He warned us that there is an impending calamity that will destroy most worlds, and the only way we will be safe is in his bunker planet.
Oh, okay. I think I figured that one out. Okay, this is good information.
All right. You guys good here then? Because this is all, I don't know what's going on. A bunker planet, world fuel, I don't.
Yeah, that's fine. You know, it's one of those things that only a really important person can understand.
Truly. Your jester is quite delightful.
I'm not a jester, I'm just new in town.
Well, if you ever find yourself in the East End, do me a favor and don't. And then she looks to Reginald like... She's like,
he's just gonna walk away laughing and try to like gesture the rest of the group.
She takes her bow back from Juniper and just walks away going, nailed it.
Quinny will let it go. A real internal battle, and then just like her arm's fucked up, she's gonna die. Just
do you want to?
It's fine.
Do you want to roll a check there, buddy? You want to roll a save to see if Quinny can actually let it go?
Yeah. What would you like me to roll to save?
I feel like this is probably an intelligence save.
Sure. Natural 1, so we'll re-roll that. A 2.
All right.
Plus 6 for 8.
Well, you, sir, are no Elsa because you cannot let it go.
Okay. You're from the east side, are you?
Yes, of the Bellwinter family.
And what is it that you're doing in this dirty old warehouse and mine?
Waiting for someone of noble lineage to notice me and put me back where I belong on the front lines.
Well,
Reginald.
You've been noticed, and I think you've been found wanting. You can't even seem to operate that bow correctly.
Oh, yeah, just watch this. And then she tries to do it, and like her bandages start bleeding. She's like, it's impressive, no?
I take out my short bow that I haven't used in years and like perfectly nail a target across the warehouse.
Such
Here's the question. Can we make him roll for it? Because if he misses, it's so much funnier.
Yeah, that would be really funny. Yeah.
I've never prayed more in my life for Quinny to tank a fucking roll.
It's a 4 plus 10 for 14.
Yeah, you can do it.
Okay.
But it's not a bullseye. Like I think you do the Han Solo no look shoot, and
Okay.
it when you look over, it is like off target, but it did hit the target.
I wanted it to land exactly where it landed.
Sure, you did.
Yeah.
And
I just try to sell it like, that's where I wanted it to go.
and she says, "Oh yeah, well, I didn't want to be able to pull my bowstring, so."
Well, then I guess we're both really good at what we've just told each other we wanted to do.
In the Horde, we call this the Uno Reverso technique.
Frankly, your moxie has proven that you are worth visiting the East End. If you're ever there, please look up the Bellwinters. You will be welcome to stay for some kind of blood tea.
Blood tea?
Yes, it's tea, but the tea bag has blood in it of our enemies. It's very, very fancy. I can understand you might not know about it.
Yeah, Quinny's making a face. No. Thank you.
No palate for the finer things.
I guess not.
Butthole sees it as a face of appreciation.
Yeah, that's right.
Butthole
thinks Quinny's giggling again. Something happened to Butthole's brain, I guess.
And with that, Seraphina Bellwinter turns on her heel and starts walking away, being like, "Somewhat nailed it." And then she just you catch Quinny to your satisfaction, just a furtive glance over her shoulder at the target and a slight raising of her shoulders as she kind of like walks away a little crankily.
All right.
So I think I figured out what the fuck's going on with Grace and Typhus. It sounds like the Great Collide, obviously, may still be happening. We slowed it down, but didn't necessarily stop it. However, if he's willing to sacrifice a number of systems, like multiverses, dimensions, whatever, maybe he can use that to protect one of them from the Great Collide. So he's ready to basically sacrifice this whole reality to protect another reality where he can hide out.
You think it's kind of like in the same way that, like, of Xanthus, like killing all the other Xanthuses to get more powerful. He's going to do, like, a singularity, but, like, dimension-wise.
Or like a small one, and then he's got a really nasty army, so when Xanthus shows up, it's like, welcome to the fucking Horde.
This is insane. Juniper, you have to speak to a third person immediately. This is ridiculous. The kind of
do you
intel
realize
we're getting.
how much we didn't know before we talked to that fucking lady?
Can't we just all talk to everyone
No,
here?
there's a system that's proven to work, and it starts with you.
Every time the conversation started with someone else, we didn't learn fucking shit. Do you remember
right.
even earlier, we all started talking to somebody, and it took a long time, and then you pointed out we were terrible at it, and then we had you ask one question, all of a sudden Patty's useful and now running a rebellion.
Okay.
Now talk to the sniffly punchy guy.
How do we feel about half bottles? Patty says with a half bottle. I needed it for peeing, but we might need it for bombing, so how do we feel about that? I'm leading a rebellion.
Patty, we got some latrine builders. Why don't you just go up to one of them and we can just like pee in a hole instead of a bottle?
Because Patty's self-sufficient. And then she wanders off.
Well, why are you asking us for advice, Patty?
You seem to have found a gap in old Patty Two Eyes logic. I'm going to go examine my ways. And she goes and takes like the thinker pose on a rock as the bottle slowly pours out.
God, I hate her.
All right, Juniper. You
so
talk to
mad.
the last person?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you approach
God.
the sniffly guy as he's kicking the rock, and he's just like, stronger, faster, stronger.
Howdy there. That's some incredible kicking strength you got.
Thank you. Gotta keep my toe strong. And he kicks it again.
Based on this voice, we should make Tom say a lot. Let's talk to this guy for an hour.
This guy knows intimate details about Grace and Typhus.
He's got a whole monologue in there.
History of the world. Don't mind if I do. All the world's a stage. I merely play it. Real entrances and real exits.
All right. Anyways, look. Here's the thing. I'm just going to cut to the chase. I'm new around here.
Yeah.
And I just, honestly, oh God, I just need to know what's going on.
Oh,
Where are you from? What you doing? Where you want to go?
I love how much Juniper hates this.
roll an investigation check.
Juniper, who started going around talking to people
At
as a voluntary
disadvantage.
It's like usually investigation at disadvantage.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're doing a terrible
I
job.
know. 6.
Yeah. He's just like,
the role you deserve.
he's like,
I know.
name, the strongest toe. Or desire to have the strongest toe. Where I want to go is anywhere my strong toe is needed. That good enough for you? Fancy pants.
Am I fancy?
Well, your pants aren't built for kicking, which makes them fancy in my books. And then he is wearing parachute pants. Like, he's just wearing the pants that will give him the best ability to kick this rock.
Well, sir, that's rather offensive. I mean, I'm in a chair.
And you're wearing pants.
Right, but how am I kicking?
Look, I only know kicking, and I'm sorry if I've overstepped here. I'm just saying, you could wear kicking pants like I've got, and they'd be very comfy for you, because they're comfy for me. Strongest toe.
Have you got an extra pair?
If you can defeat me in a contest of strength, I'll give you mine.
In a contest of strength, you say?
Yeah.
Juniper's going to come back with no information but this man's pants.
Yep.
Here's the deal. We each attack this rock, and I grant you can't kick the rock, and I'm real sorry about that. That was insensitive of me. But I bet you can attack the rock in some strong way with your strength. So you attack the rock, and I'll attack the rock. Whoever does more damage to the rock will deserve the strong toe pants.
I agree. And Juniper in her chair transforms into Crunch.
Can you roll a d6?
Yeah. 5.
Okay. His eyes go wide because Strongest Toe thought he had this on lockdown, but now there is a troll. And he goes, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. They always told me this is how I would lose my pants. And Laura, go ahead and roll on athletics.
Yep.
This is what the witch said.
Oh no, not 1.
So Crunch, you go to attack the rock, and as you do so, this is a weird one to get an @1 on.
Yeah.
As you do so, how would Crunch attack this rock?
Crunch would literally just wheel up to it, and it's just literally like a twisting of the body and just like a haymaker into the wall.
Okay, great. So you twist and you throw your haymaker, and you don't realize that the rock is jagged from all of Strongest toe kicking. Mm-hmm. And so you punch into it and it hurts your hand so fucking much. It just gouges through your knuckles. And you're a troll, so you'll regenerate, but it hurts so goddamn much. And what I need from you, Laura, is if you can please roll me a Constitution save. Do we have those anymore? I don't even know. I'm looking at my DM.
Yes, we have those.
Yeah, great. Do it. Con save to see if you can maintain your form.
6.
6. It hurts so fucking much that it knocks Crunch out of you for the moment. So, Laura, go ahead and roll 2d6 and pick the highest, please.
Okay. 6.
Great. You throw your punch through, it hits, and it's a little bit like the how the later Marvel films play the Hulk, where it's the Hulk has feelings. So Crunch throws the punch hurts so much, and Crunch is used to causing the pain, not taking the pain. And you've been through a lot. You're frustrated, you're flustered. Strongest Toe is being weirdly offensive to you, and it's just all of it combines to throwing this punch and just fucking hurting your hand so much. And as a result, the fist hits. I'm not going to make you take damage because it'll just go away immediately. You could take that fucking hit die though. You hit it goes away immediately, but it also your body undulates as Crunch slips away. But because you rolled a 6, you don't revert back to Juniper. Instead, you let out a fearsome howl as the wolf emerges, growls, and immediately tears off Strongest Toe's head.
Huh?
This episode of Dum-Dums and Dragons features the voices of Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter, Laura Hamstra at EL Hamstring on Twitter, and our DM Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode's sound was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Dum-Dums and Dragons artwork is by Del Borovic, who can be found at delborovic.com. Our theme songs are And Now for That Massive Coronary and Skipping Through the Orchestra Pit Part 1 by Peter Gresser, and our ad music is No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, all available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum-Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. But most importantly, we've got merchandise at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, or you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDUMBDICE. And tune in next week for more Dum-Dums and Dragons. Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time. The Half-Blind Prophet, Christopher Little, Sue One, George Dolby, Richard Cranium, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Glitch Trick, Flynn1138, Alarain Okapi, OMG It's Big Nick, D&D and Things, Schrodinger's Pepper, Guy Edwards, Flea Unit, Madre de Gatos, Lady Maiden, Melissa Rain, Nithrian, Garbo Ape, Locke, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dagger Rain, Rob L., Dia De Los Hoodless, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.